Does size matter when it comes to recoil? Let's talk about that. Hey everybody, this is Mike with Personal Protection Academy. Let's talk about it. Does size matter? Well, yeah, it does. Size does matter to the barrel length of the firearm. So when you're controlling recoil, right, you're trying to limit the amount of recoil that's occurring in the firearm. Let's analyze what that means for a second. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. The bullet leaves the barrel. The gun wants to go in the opposite direction. It catches on your hand and it recoils like this. That's the felt recoil, is that the firearm is moving back like this. Well, does size matter when it comes to controlling recoil? Well, yeah, it does. I hear a lot of folks that say, well, I want to shoot the smaller gun because it has less recoil. And I hear a lot of men that say, oh, I'm going to buy my wife a gun and I need to buy her a tiny little gun so it has less recoil. That's called dumb guy physics. That is not how it works. When it comes to women or small-framed individuals, people seem to think big gun equals big bang, small gun equals small bang. But let's look at what we're talking about here. First of all, the source of energy is, let's say in this case, a little 9mm round. Well, it's the same exact round whether you are using a tiny little gun like this SIG 365 or whether you're using a bigger gun like this Glock 17. So the energy, the bang, the source of the recoil is exactly the same, more or less, right? Down to a fraction of a percentage. It's about the same in every gun. So what determines the recoil? The recoil is simply the energy transference from the ammunition to your firearm, to your hand. Oh, Mike, this is getting all crazy already. Well, don't worry, it gets worse. We're going to go back to high school physics. What is it that can dissipate or control that recoil? Well, mass, which is weight, size, and the length of the barrel. Okay, so let's look at this. Here you have the ejection port of the round. Right about here is where the bang takes place. And the amount of barrel length that's in front of the bang is bigger here on this Glock 17 than on the SIG 365. So the bang takes place about here and the bang takes place about here. And there's more muzzle, there's more barrel in front of the bang on the Glock 17 than there is on the SIG 365. And also, this one's heavier than this one is. So that means if you have a longer barrel, more mass in front of the bang, and more weight and mass overall, you have a smaller felt recoil. So what we need to stop doing is telling people who have weaker hands and weaker arms to get the tiny little gun because it has less recoil, because you're going to have less felt recoil in a heavier, longer barreled gun. So if you're just talking about which gun you want based off of felt recoil, the bigger, heavier, longer barreled gun is going to have less recoil. And that's just one factor we consider when picking a firearm. But we have to understand that this concept that we have in our head that small gun equals small recoil and big gun equals big recoil is nonsense. The source of energy, in this case a 9mm round, is the same. And the mass and the length of this gun here, the Glock 17, is going to make for less recoil than this small little SIG 365. So does size matter? Yeah, I guess it does. But that's a good thing. You understand the knowledge. If you can control the recoil with good grip, good stance, good body position, then it matters less. But until you get good grip, this bigger gun is going to have less recoil. So what's your experience with recoil? What gun do you shoot? Are you a small statured person? Are you a big monster who can shoot any gun? Leave the comments in below and let's talk about size. Size does matter, guys. Recoil is a real thing. All right, we'll see you next time on the range. Bye-bye.